Before we get started, I want to tell you the reason why I got into Assassin's Creed in the first place. It's a very interesting story. It started about 5 years ago, no, 6 years ago. It was 2 weeks before I started my freshman year, and I was on a family trip. I was on the family trip with my parents, my sister, and my relatives, and we were on our way back home, and we had a family lunch at a restaurant. And one of my aunts accidentally knocked over a bowl of hot soup that poured itself right into my dad's shoes, and I remember seeing the smoke coming out of my dad's shoes, like his socks were literally smoking. And that's why we had to cancel our plans, our family plans to go to another shopping mall after we finished our family trip. So we had to send our dad home earlier than usual, and my mother and I came up with another plan that we can just go to a shopping mall closer to where we live. And my mom went to look for our clothes. She bought a lot of me and my sister's clothes and left me in a video game store. And it is in this video game store that I came across this Assassin's Creed Heritage Collection, which includes the first 5 Assassin's Creed games. And then it was also around the same time when my other aunt from my dad's side bought me a notebook, a laptop, an Acer laptop for college. And that's when I realized that I can maybe play these games on my laptop. And that was how I had to finish like 5 games in the last 2 weeks before I have to move to college. And Assassin's Creed is practically the first Assassin's Creed game with Altair. It was the first game that I've ever finished that is not on the handheld console, because before then most of my games were on the Nintendo DS. And I also want to share with you this NECA Ezio figure. It is not easy to come by now. I remember they got a reissue, but this is not a reissue. This is one of the original ones with my personal paint job, because I got this from eBay, and by the time I got it from eBay, most of the paint job had already come off. I didn't know what was wrong. Maybe it was just bad weather affecting the paint job. And I like this, but someday I would like to get my hands on the reissue, because the original paint job looks so good. So let's get to the topic for today. And the reason why I want to show you this is I want to talk about Assassin's Creed Shadows, because I know that game has got a lot of negative press right now, and I want to share my opinions on this game as an East Asian. I am Taiwanese. I live in Taiwan. I have never been to the US. I'm not American, but I am personally very invested in American entertainment culture, and you can say that it is what built my character growing up in the first place. I grew up with American entertainment culture, with Marvel, with DC, with Star Wars, with superheroes. And by the time I started my college, I also grew up with Assassin's Creed. There are many times when most of us we men never really grew up. We like playing. We got our emo faces when nobody is around. We like swing around our imagery lightsabers and wielding our imagery hidden blades. It is almost a reflex when we stand in front of an automatic door. We always do this to open the door with the force. So these things are practically burned into my DNA. So let us try something different. I'm going to ask myself a question, and then I'm going to answer these questions without any scripts. And if the pacing is too awkward, I'll just edit the rest, edit the gaps out. So what is my first reaction when I saw the trailer? Because I saw the trailer live. And I'm gonna be honest, my first reaction is basically, so Asians are not diverse enough for you now. I've heard of the rumor that Assassin's Creed Shadows' protagonist is gonna feature a black samurai and a female ninja. So I have my predictions, but it doesn't stop my it doesn't stop myself from being disappointed, because I had this American dream. I had this American dream of like wanting to work in the entertainment industry and maybe acting when if I ever had a chance. It seems childish then, it still sounds childish now, considering that I'm working in the tech industry, but that's another matter entirely. But that was the reason why I've always paid attention to like how Asian males are, how Asians are treated, how Asians are casted, how they are portrayed in Western media specifically, because of course they are very well presented in maybe Japanese media and Chinese media, but majorly Japanese media, because it has a stronger cultural influence overseas next to American entertainment culture. So I've been paying a lot of attention to specifically Asian males, because I know that they were one of the least represented demographics. Like the Asian females are represented quite a lot compared to Asian guys, and the Asian guys are like they're the I remember these characters, the long duck dons, the inoffensive looking Asian guys, the short with no risk, they don't get the girls, they just get made fun of. They're the butt of the joke, and it also kind of influenced their values, their appealingness in dating market. I am aware of that. This is not one of those situations where somebody tries to push a narrative that this is the first time you see a female protagonist, or this is the first time you see a black superhero on the television screen or on the movie screen. Like Asian guys are really underrepresented in Western media, and that is something I am aware of, and that's a topic that I am very passionate about. And I guess that's one of the main reasons why I was so upset about Assassin's Creed Shadows, because if you follow the pattern of the previous Assassin's Creed games, they always feature a protagonist from that represents the culture, the country at that time. And in this case, they do have a protagonist that represents the culture, which is in Norway, the female ninja. But if you look at Assassin's Creed, the previous games, Assassin's Creed Odyssey and Assassin's Creed Valhalla, they do have like two protagonists, a male and a female. They gave you the choices. Even though what they did were very uncalled for, because they did it 2 times in a row. They put the male character on the cover. They put the male character in the premiere trailer, and then they made the female character the canon protagonist. And in Assassin's Creed Shadows, it was also a male character and a female character, except that in this case they replaced the Japanese male with a black guy, and it really it really gives you a lot of questions. I mean, if you do not know the political atmosphere in this day and age, but it does make me very upset, because I thought that these people they try to justify themselves messing with like white people culture and white people history, but right now they're messing with, and I don't like this word. I don't like the word POC. You know, I don't like this how they try to categorize people of different races with these words and try to make themselves sound morally righteous. But I don't try to say their language because they're not just messing with white people history and culture now. They're messing with like a POC culture, a POC history. And I find that very disturbing because to me that it sounds like, you know, like Asians are not diverse enough for you. Like it is not a part of their diversity narrative. Like their diversity is a sham. You know, and I was thinking that this is the game that allows you to play as a black guy slaughtering lots of Asian guys. And why would I want to play a game like that? Like, suppose I got the game. Suppose I get the game. I'll, I'll probably just play as Nawi, on the condition that the game fails. Like the game, Ubisoft loses money over the game, and the game is on sale, and all the DLCs are released, and they better give us some really appealing legacy outfits. But until then, I'm most possibly not going to get the game, considering all the other drama coming out, because there is no way they made Yasuke the main protagonist to respect Japanese culture. You know, this is the game that really, you know, I supported Assassin's Creed all the way from the first game to Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Like I got my hands on every single entry. I got my hands on all the way to Assassin's Creed Mirage. But this is the first game that I will not. I'm gonna get my hands on upon launch. It will probably be months before I finally get my hands on Assassin's Creed Shadows, on the condition that they lose money over that game. And oh my god, I'm so bad at this. This is so unorganized. You know, it's okay.